it's a step away from reality, but still is kind of a reality within itself, which is something that I really respected. And just the character dynamics between, you know, Rafe and Gabriel, and everything that Gabriel has gone through in his life, and to be so strong and to be so layered was something that I really was intrigued by. Gabriel is kind of he's kind of like the hope of society. Um, he's kind of like the Jesus of this world, if you will. Um, and you know, Jesus didn't know that he was Jesus until he was Jesus. And I think the same applies to Gabriel, which is really cool to me. I kind of see Gabriel as a crocodile, you know. He kind of like sits and waits, but he's also so aware of everything that's going on around him. It's really cool. Rupert and I had the same ideals of Gabriel. I say that he's a crocodile because I remember talking to Rupert on a FaceTime prior to filming and telling him how I saw Gabriel, and I mentioned how that would be his spirit animal, and we kind of based the character and everything that he is off of that analogy. So Gabriel, he sits and waits. He doesn't talk much unless he has to talk. He doesn't say much, and he doesn't do much unless like he has to do it. So I mean, I think it's always a collaborative process when developing a character with the director and an actor, and even when going into filming, it's a collaborative process between the DP and the actor and the director, because we're all kind of like dancing off of each other, in a sense. Well, there's a lot that's given in the script, for sure. But I think, I mean, Gabriel kind of had to grow up really fast with the lack of his parents, and you know, he didn't have anybody to look up to. He kind of had to raise himself, and Jurgis kind of became his only sense of family, and he's also kind of raising Jurgis in a way. You know, like they're two totally different people, but he's the most responsible one of the two. So I feel like Gabriel had to become a man at a really early age. Rupert is, it's interesting. For me, he gives me a lot of freedom as an actor to explore and discover things within the script and within the environment, which is really essential to me. It's not just direct this or that. I mean, if he wants something specific, then he'll tell me. But it's like I said, it's kind of like a dance. I'll ask Rupert what he wants or what's lacking and or what's not, and I'll make the adjustment, and like vice versa, and we'll kind of like have epiphanies about scenes or about the character while being on set, which is really cool to have that type of relationship with the director. John Goodman, the legendary John Goodman. He's a great actor, man. It's been great to even be in his presence and to just be on camera with this man. We both give a lot to each other in scene, and I mean, like the character dynamic between Gabriel and Mulligan are really heavy. I mean, it's a love and hate relationship almost. More so a lot of hate coming from Gabriel's end, but it's a misunderstanding. And I feel like that relationship is something that develops towards the end of the film, and you kind of see where their relationship ends before everything starts to like click for Gabriel. You know, so it's been really cool working with John. It's been a pleasure, man. Man, I feel like Chicago is always calling me back. I'm always coming back here for some reason. But it's been really cool. I mean, it's obviously a whole nother perspective on the city. I'm seeing we're filming at all these cool locations that I would have never been to or would have seen or known about if it wasn't for this film. So it's been really cool, and I have a lot of friends here as well. So it's kind of like being back at home, but I'm working and doing this on a professional level. Beforehand, I was in school trying to get to this level, and I'm doing it now. So I mean, it's magical, man. The outskirts of the lake, man, are really beautiful. That was one standout thing for me, and I mean just how artistic the city is in every level, man. There's I don't know how they found these locations in Chicago, but they did, and they're perfect. Like everything I would have imagined this world to be when I step on set, it is, which is an actor's like dream, man. You know, so it's been really rad. Me and Vera have some. It's minute dialogue, but they're really intense scenes. I mean, the backing of that character relationship is that Vera taught at the school that Gabriel went to, and when I initially meet her, I'm trying to figure out who she is, and when I'm about to say something, she ends up being killed off. Which was a really heavy scene to film. It was crazy to actually like see the process of it being done. But she's a sweetheart, man. She's a sweetheart. And I was a fan of hers before actually filming, so cross that off my list. Kosin and I have the same type of relationship that Gabriel and Jurgis have in the film actually. So it's really authentic. It's a really natural thing. We find moments that are so authentic that couldn't have even been written in the script. So that's been really cool. He's a really talented actor, uh, and also like a dope musician. So. Jurgis and Gabriel are two totally different people. Jurgis is more so spontaneous in action, and Gabriel, he sits and thinks and ponders on what's right and what's wrong, so that it becomes a divide at some point within the film. But brothers are brothers, and family is different. So at the end of the day, you're always going to love your brother or your sister or your sibling, no matter how annoying or how messed up things get between the relationship. It's very real, and Jurgis is Gabriel's only sense of family. Um, so that comes into play. You definitely feel that energy and see that energy and read what the relationship is when going through the script and filming and being in scene. I think people can expect the unexpected. It's not a film that you see a commercial of and just like know immediately what it's going to be about. It has so many layers to it, which is why I love the script initially. Another reason why I love the script initially when reading it. I feel like the audience is going to be taken into this world, and although we're filming in Chicago, it's not going to feel like Chicago. It's going to feel otherly. So I mean, I hope the audience resonates with it the way that myself and the rest of the cast and Rupert resonates with it, because this is a project of passion for all of us, I feel.